Yeah, thanks, President. My question is for the Attorney-General. In the aftermath of the infamous Jackson William case and his subsequent acquittal of the charge assault with intent to commit a sexual offence, our party called out for a new offence, a grab and drag. Your predecessor, Ms Hennessy, asked the VLRC to look into deficiencies within this space. The Commission delivered its additional report on the proposed new grab and drag offence, as well as its interim report on stalking to you in December 2021. These were tabled yesterday, but there is no mandate for the government to respond to each recommendation as opposed for parliamentary committee reports. I understand the stalking inquiry still has its full report due mid-year and that Victoria Police have already implemented a few recommendations from the interim report. Therefore, Attorney, will the government be providing a formal response to these two VLRC reports, and if so, when can we expect that response?
General.
Thank you, President, and I thank Mr Grembley for his question, and indeed I want to thank the VLRC for their work and for the supplementary report into the grab and drag conduct that Mr Grembley has referred to. It obviously follows the very recent report, comprehensive report of improving the response of the justice system to sexual offences as effectively a part of that broader topic. I certainly do want to thank all of those that contributed to the report. I know, Mr Grembley, you made a submission yourself. The report certainly highlights that grab and drag conduct is serious and it's harmful and would be terrifying for victims. We are reviewing the VLRC's findings in detail. We will continue to consult with victim survivors, law enforcement agencies, the courts and other stakeholders on reforming the justice and service system in this space, because we really would like to achieve long-lasting change that's effective. The findings and recommendations will be considered as a broader suite of a response to the full report and the development of reforms to address sexual violence and abuse and harm. Mr Grimley, in relation to specifically the grab and drag and the recommendations around aggravating circumstances and the like, I think you would be fully aware that this is a very complex and contested area, and it is something that will need to involve careful consideration and consultation in relation to changes that would indeed be workable, enforceable and provide a benefit to victims.
Mr Gremley, on supplementary.
Thanks, President. Thanks, Attorney. I was pleased that the VLRC did recommend a new aggravated factor for assault where it is an apprehension of a victim, similar to a grab and drag. So this law change was supported by the Victims of Crime Commissioner, Sexual Assault Services Victoria, Victoria Police, and a small 114,300 odd outraged community members who signed a petition for the change. The VLRC's chair, Anthony North, QC, said that people harmed by this conduct experience a level of trauma that is not recognised under the current law, and changing the law would signal to the community the seriousness of this conduct. The Premier said, and I quote, "I think there is a very clear acknowledgement that we need to do more," unquote, signalling, in my view, the government's endorsement of the recommendations. In contrast, the government spokesman told the Herald Sun yesterday, and I quote, that we will carefully examine the recommendations, unquote. Attorney, will the government listen to stakeholders, including the Victims of Crime Commissioner, and implement this aggravating circumstance to the Crimes Act to address the deficiency in this legislation within this term of Parliament?
Attorney General.
Thank you, President, and I thank Mr Gremley for his supplementary question, which was covered off reasonably well in my first answer, I think, in that these are matters that require consideration, consultation, and I can't preempt timelines for reform when I still need to speak to people about the impacts of them, how they would be implemented and how they would work.